in the scenario in which Africa has a civil war, much like what we did for Europe, although we're going to start at where it makes sense. Algeria and Morocco go to war, which at first would probably look something like that, and that. Well, Egypt needs to pick a side. Egypt picks the red side, but they don't like Libya. No. Who do they have better relations, Algeria or Morocco? Whatever side they pick. Let's say they pick the red side. Because Ethiopia, maybe, might go that way at first. Sudan and Eritrea join. Well, before this starts, we're going to have Somalia fall apart. Because, well, why not? Djibouti, not to die, joins blue team. And a lot of members of that join this side. Angola, wanting to connect to its ex-slaves, joins that team. The Republic of Congo says there can only be one Congo. And here, no. Well, there's a lot of stuff that I need to think of. And, well, let's just go with it now. Cairo joins the red teams. Surrounded. Well, Cameroon joins the red team. Gabon joins the blue team. Because they could manage. No. And South Africa and Mauritania join the blue team. Because, well, they did. Botswana ends up at war on the red team. Zimbabwe. Namibia joins the red team. These two countries join the red team with a swift invasion. And then here, I see this side. Cameroon, which would not be able to defend itself, joins them. Nigeria joins blue team, wanting more land. They join that team. Blue team. Well, Benin, Togo, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Mauritania join that team, but Azawad, which is an area that wants independence, declares independence and joins blue team. Senegal joins the blue team, so the Gambia joins it. Guinea-Bissau joins it. Guinea joins it. Cote d'Ivoire joins that team. Sierra Leone joins the blue team. Ghana joins the red team. That wasn't probably. And then Cape Verde joins the blue team but does nothing because it's surrounded. And now the war begins. Well, the only countries that were really ready was Algeria, who started this. And well, they started a push into southern Morocco. Well, it goes pretty successful because, well, Algeria has already amassed forces. Well, Azawad, surrounded, just falls. Yeah, as well, joining the blue team wasn't their best choice. Well, these weak countries don't have much of a chance. Nigeria, which is a really well-off nation, starts a campaign in Cameroon. We forgot one country. Sao Tome and Principe. Very weird. Well, South Africa takes out these nations. Namibia prepared for the civil war. Angola starts an attack into Zambia. With Namibian support, Zimbabwe cuts South Africa away from the rest of the red team. Oh, Botswana gets invaded. But Mozambique falls back to about here. Oh, the Angolan offensive is stopped. Although South Africa's Botswana campaign is going pretty well. Well, their goal, unless is cut them in two. That's kind of hard because, well, they're pushing into Zambia. Well, let's go to Ethiopia. Up here, it doesn't look the best because, well, for the red team, Somalia does not look very good because Somalia just falls. Sudan pushes into South Sudan and into Ethiopia, but Ethiopia is not a good idea to invade. This is what keeps them around. Well, the dam project continues going on, although the site is bombed. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is strong, but at the same time unstable. Well, they are preparing for war now. Cameroon and the Republic of Congo have success. Well, it's short-lived because, well, Nigeria kind of reigns in the north, flooding the country. And they occupy all this lands. And they push here. The problem with this offensive is, well, they also start another offensive to the north. And well, they push into Azawad, which was once held by Azawad rebels. now they're trying to liberate it with more forces just to keep Niger from cutting the forces off. The Cote d'Ivoire doesn't have a great time. Cabo Verde kind of doesn't, nobody really cares about taking. Well, they push down, and then they take Burkina Faso, they push into Sierra Leone, but Liberia's. But Ghana, no, Benin has to pull back troops after Nigeria starts an offensive into Benin, which is a successful campaign, which manages to cut off supply lines to southern Niger via Burkina Faso. The liberation of Azawad happens. Well, the reason Nigeria joined the blue team was because a lot of its neighbors joined. Well, Morocco goes through with a counter-offensive. And they encircle a big group of Algerian troops. But they don't let them escape because they manage to encircle them. Well, Tunisia isn't having the best. Well, a lot of offensives are into South Sudan and the DRC. Although the DRC manages to stop it here. But is lacking flow from the river. Well, they continue pushing into Uganda. And then into Kenya. Ethiopia is fully mobilized now. They managed to push down to this lake. And, well, they get to there. And they have gotten a successful campaign. And once Ethiopia is mobilized, well, Ethiopia has a lot of people, so they push up into where the Tigray region would be because, well, Eritrea has occupied it. And now they push up, kicking Eritrea to the border. And pushing up into it. And then they started a campaign to cut off supply lines into Ethiopia via Sudan. And with them cut, well, troops undersupplied slowly gets pushed back. But they do manage to push into South Sudan. Oh, they don't take all of Sudan. Well, Ethiopia loses its makes a big encirclement of like 25% of Sudan's military, which starved is pushed into this area. Well, the DRC, along with Uganda, make a counter-offensive in their norths. Their main aim is to connect with Ethiopian forces. Well, the government has been reinstalled, but I don't think they have the capital. And then they take all lake access from them. So they really are stuck in a jungle and desert. Well, Uganda doesn't get much land because this is where their stronghold is. But then let's look at South Africa's campaign in the Botswana. Well, it goes pretty successful, and the defending forces near the Namibian border managed to start an offensive into Namibia. And while they continue their campaign across into Namibia, and they push into Namibia and cut Namibia in half. Well, and then they push up the coast. And these troops eventually just surrender. And they push into Mozambique. In Mozambique, lands are liberated. And then they start a campaign into Zimbabwe. Oh. And the campaign into southern Angola begins, which goes successfully. Very successfully. Very successfully. With these forces getting kicked out of Uganda and South Sudan, they surrender. This pocket gives up. Azawad is being reliberated. And then to cut off supply lines, they push into here, into Mauritania. With them making it, to cut the place in two. Well, the forces are now undersupplied, with Morocco starting to push into Western Sahara. And well, from the south, Nigeria manages to push into Western Sahara. And this is a major victories. Mauritania falls. Northern Azawad is reliberated. Which countries start to kick the occupiers out partisans? Well, with some countries even just managing to push them out quickly. Other countries, well, there's still war to happen. And then, well, the troops make it through Benin and Togo and into Ghana. Ghana switches sides. With these lands well, the liberation of goes well. The rest of these forces, unable to fight any longer, surrender. Angola pulls troops back. Nigeria pushes in to liberate these two countries. Well, they push down successfully. Republic of Congo pulls back forces. Well, everybody is now pushing into Angola. With the encirclements being pretty frequent. Like one big one here. And they take the country. Most of the country. Dr. Congo starts his campaign into the Republic of Congo. Republic of Congo falls, along with the rest of Angola. With all troops withdrawing from Dr. Congo, with a big issue starting because, well, Chad and Sudan, or no, not South Sudan, the Central African Republic, or CAR. Well, with defeat after defeat, well, countries are not too pleased with them pushing Ethiopia out and them out of Chad, but they're basically out of resources now. So basically, unable to resupply, Sudan is basically obliterated. Basically, there's no morale left now because of a devastating defeat. And then the battle of I know the capital name. Well, I can't think of it. Well, they push into the capital. Sudan falls to here. Well, they're being pushed out and into North Africa. Well, Morocco's now ready, along with Azawad. They start major campaigns. One major one in the north. After bombing all supply lines, they invade. Oh, that's pretty smart. And with naval dominance being created, they managed to get to here and take back Tunisia, which, with Tunisia taken back, well, now let's look at Libya. Well, Libya has basically north, a democratic front pushes in. which takes over the nation within days, and sign a treaty. And then they finish off Algeria in the desert with a desert sweeping campaign. Egypt, seeing how the war is going, pieces out. Well, they demand this be their border. Or why there even is a border dispute. And they're still demanding stuff, even though they did lose. Just as bad as Bulgaria lost World War I. And they gained land. Bulgaria wasn't so fortunate. Well, they also take a bit of land from Libya. Well, Egypt is overthrown, too. But a democratic front, much like Libya's, the civil war. And now the Treaty of Johansenburg. Well, South Africa wants these lands, they demand. No, they don't get a lot of land they wanted. Well, quickly after this treaty is signed, well, they just annex Botswana. Well, they weren't supposed to do that, but they did it anyways. What else they do? That they weren't supposed to do. Well, they annexed more territory. So, well, there you go. South Africa got strong. Nations that get nothing, well, is this nation, this, is this, this. Well, it's kind of hard to give some of these nations, well, land, because, well, they don't border any of the land-gaining territories. Well, the Treaty of Johansenburg was signed. Now let's go to the Treaty of Cairo, which is signed in Cairo, which puts those changes that happened to Cairo in place. It gives Zambia a bit of land. It gives Angola, no, not Angola, but Congo takes over Congo. They also take some land in Central African Republic. Sudan takes a bit of land from Sudan. Ethiopia takes a lot of land. They take a little bit of land. Ethiopia takes more land than they need. Now let's sign this treaty. Well, they get a lot of new territory. including a lot of Republic of Congo territory. Gabon gets the other half. They get this. They get that. They get that. Well, the Treaty of Cairo is a decent treaty for countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, Somaliland, and Djibouti. And these countries gain lands. Well, then the Treaty of Rabat gets signed. Well, they'll take out the countries that are done signing treaties now. And they're not going to lose any more land. Just make it more organized. And well, they get a bit of land, they get a bit of land, they get a bit of land. Azawad gets a bit of land. Or should I say the new Republic of Azawad. Morocco just draws a straight line in the desert because it doesn't matter, it's a desert. Well, we have the borders all figured out. Although I think they're signing it just like Europe does. Man. Well, war isn't about power, but about the people. If the people don't fight, you lose. If the people fight, you win. That's how war works. No morale, no victory. Now, Azawad has become a bit of a mess on the map. Morocco has become a bit more like it's been taken by Europe. Well, then the Treaty of Lagos gets signed. Well, Ghana gains lands. Nigeria gains a lot of lands. That's what happens when you're strong. You can basically force what you want on the treaties. Nigeria proclaims the Nigerian Empire. That was part of the Treaty of Lagos. Take out the countries that signed the Treaty of Cairo. No, not Cairo, the Treaty of Rabat. Treaty of Lagos is being signed. And it'll end with the Treaty of Tunis. Well, Sao Tome and Principe manages to gain land. For what? Well, due to the location, Chad was well off. Well, it is very likely Sao Tome will sink. Although Africa, I think, is the tallest average continent. So when sea levels go out of control, make sure to go there. Well, Nigeria gets a bit of land in the Treaty of Tunis. Tunisia gets land, but I guess it was obvious, the Treaty of Tunis. Well, the continent will never be the same again. And before we finish this video, well, I need to show you something very interesting. So, yesterday, Russia was about here. About there. And Ukraine made some gains here. Gains there. A lot of gains in this area. And that's what the new map of the current front lines look like. I might have went a bit further north or a bit further south. That isn't the best way, but that's about what changed in the front lines. In the last few days, a lot more has changed. And thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. And before I go, I'm trying to get to 30 subscribers. When I get to 30 subscribers, I will make a special. So, please like and subscribe so I can make that special possible. And that's all for this video. Wild Mapper out.